Today, the theme is loneliness and solitude. So, what is loneliness? What is solitude? Why maybe for you it's so hard to be with yourself? First of all, loneliness is different of solitude. Loneliness, it means that there is a need in our unconscious, and there is a need in our emotional body and in our mind unconscious body that was not fulfilled. What does it mean? Does it mean that maybe for the ones that you were raised by parents that they couldn't be present at home because they were working, or they spend a lot of time out, and when they would arrive they couldn't give you the proper attention that you were needing because you were feeling so lonely during the day, or because they had their own problems that they couldn't heal before, for example, addictions. And addiction is not only alcohol and drugs. Addiction is addiction to toxic relations, to TV, to be numb, to be in a big depression. So they couldn't get the true healing for themselves, so they couldn't really be present for you. And that need that you had from your parents, or the ones that they were with you raising for proper attention in your childhood, is still living inside of you, is still vibrating. And it means that you went through life always trying to search for attention, but somehow you couldn't receive what you were looking for in the normal daily relations. Because nobody in adult life will fulfill that wound that was created in your childhood. But if we do the work, the proper work to heal that child, that wounded child that is still living inside of you, you will step by step recovery that child, and you will trust that you as an adult can really support her, and she can trust you again. This doesn't mean, pay attention, that your parents are bad parents or they were bad people. You know, normal people, human beings, we all have our wounds. And most of the parents that really hurt children, that they are negligent, is not because they want, it's because they don't know how to do better, and they themselves, they don't have the proper care and healing that they need. So it's very common that there's this sense of deep loneliness in most of us, that even having a partner or having kids or family, there's this place inside of us that normally we don't want to touch, we want to avoid. That's why we go to addictions. Why? Because somehow the addictions to food, to alcohol, to drugs, to sleeping pills, to exercise, everything that helps us to run away from this deep sense of loneliness. So no one in society till some maybe 10 years ago would speak this openly and would say there's a way to do this. And the reason of all these behaviors is because somehow we feel so uncomfortable, and we are so afraid to lose the ground, to feel sadness, to feel pain, to feel anger. So this intense emotion, even to feel love, to really feel love, to fall in love again, to surrender to life. We are so afraid to be hurt again that somehow we need to numb ourselves. And of course, when we do this, how can we not do that in our relations? It's who we are in that moment. It's how we are living. If you feel deeply lonely, recognize the wound of loneliness, okay? Don't repress. Don't repress yourself, like trying to avoid this feeling. This is the worst that you can do. So first of all, be honest where you are. I'm really feeling lonely and it's very painful. And I don't know what to do now. So when you recognize where you are and the wound, you are giving immediately attention and recognition to that part. And you can say to yourself, okay, I feel this, but I'm with myself at least. So resuming the loneliness in a very short term, this loneliness normally is calling our attention for this deep wound that we carry since our childhood. It means that we need one day to meet this wounded child and to wounded parts that they really need attention to be recognized and acknowledged by yourself, by your true awareness that is already ready to work with it. Solitude, it means something different. In my perspective, in my perception, solitude means that we have the capacity already to be out with ourselves and to really appreciate our own company, because there is already a certain level of true awareness, deep awareness of who you are, where the needs and the wounds, they don't shout already so much because you already gave some attention, and you are already melting all these layers of conditioning, layers of wounds that they are working inside of you. It means that there is a part of your being that is becoming more and more conscious about who you truly are. So you have the capacity to hold yourself in any moment, in any relation, and especially when you are only with yourself. So it means that there's a big awareness already having space and time to vibrate. Doesn't mean that you don't have wounds. Doesn't mean that you don't have unconscious parts. Doesn't mean that you don't need relations. It means that you already have a space and time inside of yourself where your true awareness, your true authentic being can become more present and more present for yourself. And when we already are in that space of true solitude, there's a peaceful state inside of us, no matter what is going on. If we are alone or if we are in a relation, there is already a capacity of observing what is going on first with ourselves, thoughts, mind, and emotions and feelings, body reactions, and not react from it, but really just observe and not to become attached. And when we are relating with others or in the situation, we have that capacity. We don't engage directly on the conflicts or even in the conversation. There's a space that we can really feel what is going on and to act from a very aware space, from a deep space of true awareness. So solitude means that your authentic being is already becoming much more present and you can really enjoy. Everyone is looking for the same thing. That is true freedom of existence on themselves. True capacity of relaxation in themselves without the fear of judgments and criticism, and to really allow themselves to be who they truly are, to really live from an authentic place.